You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, we got some more insight into various parts of the CBA, and we've got a couple of WNBA activist basketball players, radical basketball players. Oh, my goodness. Housing. I mean, keep in mind, these players are not standing out on corners around barrels that are burning, trying to rub their hands together to stay warm. That's not actually happening. No matter how much they want you to think, we're completely broke. I got to be honest. The more I find out about what they currently are getting, the more I'm like, your plight to get a higher salary? I'm going to be honest. I don't feel nearly as bad for you as I did. And frankly, I didn't really feel that bad for you to begin with. All right. On a scale 1 to 10, you was already just getting about a 2.5 out of me. All right. And I was like, well, there's about 2 players in the league that ought to be getting paid a lot of money. Everybody else, I don't know. It's funny. It's funny. These players want all this stuff. What would happen if Caitlin Clark announced she was going to play in Europe today? I quit the WNBA. I'm going to Europe. How many of those television networks would be on the phone immediately to Adam Silver? They'd skip Kathy Engelbert. Nah, I'm good. Don't need to talk to her. I need to talk to NBA commish. So we gave you $2.2 billion with a B, media rights, because we thought they were going to be worth a certain amount. But if she flew the coop, guess what? The league wouldn't be worth squat. At that point, the league would just be worth shutting it down. You wouldn't draw another million viewer game. You might in like 10 years. But nah, the interest would drop right off a cliff. The WNBA has proposed a draft combine in the off-season. To be eligible for the draft, invited players would be required to participate. So they already have an NBA combine right there. WNBA's proposal comes as the NBA bargained a combine clause into its CBA in 2023. So that's part of all of this. Core designation. WNBPA proposed eliminating the core designation, WNBA's proverbial franchise tag. As of now, the league has rejected the idea. The union is broadly looking to eliminate team-exclusive negotiating rights. Man, I got to tell you, if the league is looking to get it all, we want it all, we're headed towards a strike or a lockout, because that's not going to happen. All right. Goes on to talk about rookie wage scale. I'm not even going into that. We know about the expanded season footprint. I've been talking about that. They want to move it back, and it would conflict with March Madness, and it would conflict with Unrivaled might just be ending, but EuroLeague and Project B, no, it would be impacted. It would. WNBA has not included a concrete exclusivity clause in its proposals, but some around the league see the potential footprint adjustment as a step towards exclusivity. So that's them moving the league and starting it earlier is part of them basically telling the players, we don't want you to play an off-season league. That's kind of what they're trying to do there. I think it's idiotic to conflict with March Madness, because I said yesterday that's your brand building, right? They're building a brand, these players are, and they're bringing that brand into your league, which obviously has caused a rise in popularity. Well, at least with one player. Non-birthing parental league, we're not getting into that. Housing and cars. The league has removed team-issued housing from its proposals. Players are currently provided either team housing or a monthly housing stipend, which varies by team market. The stipend in Vegas, for example, was $1,117 last season. It was $2,646 in New York. Meanwhile, the players have sought to include housing costs as a benefit covered in the player portion of revenue sharing. The league has also proposed eliminating the provision of cars for players. So while everybody's been under the assumption that they are having to buy all great value products at Walmart to get by, we find out, oh, they're covering housing. Are you getting expenses for cars too? Question mark. I mean, if you start eliminating the two biggest bills that people generally have, I can tell you for me, if you eliminated housing cost and car, oh shit, hell, all right, I'm living high on the hog. So, I mean, again, the sympathy for lack of wage, my sympathy for that is plummeting at an alarming rate after finding this out. So, Brianna Turner, who is an activist basketball player with all kinds of agenda, all kinds, plays for the Indiana Fever. She's the treasurer of the Women's National Basketball Players Association, and she took issue with the team housing cuts. Quote, housing should be a priority, not just to maintain the best on-court product, but in terms of player safety. Turner, 29, playing on a minimum and unguaranteed contract while trying to source housing sounds like a reality no WNBA player should face. Okay, unbelievable. The math certainly isn't mathing. Housing should be a priority. On player safety, I mean, okay. I mean, they tried to claim that somebody confronted them outside of a hotel. Remember that whole thing? The Chicago Sky, and then we saw the actual video, and it was all bullshit. They weren't being threatened at all. They got asked 2 questions by somebody. Playing on a minimum and unguaranteed contract while trying to source housing sounds like a reality no W player should face. So, that takes us over to Natasha Cloud. And she is a radical nutcase. She has said some of the most vile, disgusting things you've ever heard in your life, including about Charlie Kirk. I mean, wow, my God. She's a disgusting human being, as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, there you see it. We want team housing. Natasha Cloud, this makes no sense for our younger players, for the players that get cut or are stuck in leases, instead of the teams that bring in replacement players, nor for players in bigger markets, let alone talking about player safety in safe areas. At WNBA Commish, we want a girl's girl. So I guess she's wanting to replace the commissioner at the same time. Doesn't shock me. She voted for that socialist nutcase up in New York. Advocated for him on the campaign trail, all this shit. They are insane. WNBA fatigue is real. No doubt. No doubt. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. All these gals thinking they're all powerful while riding Caitlin Clark's coattails to a raise. This person says the same thing I said earlier. Reality is, if Caitlin Clark came out and said she was going to Europe, you'd all be bleeped. You'd be effed immediately. I mean, this person is trying to defend Natasha Cloud. Natasha Cloud certainly has an opinion on team housing, having moved from Phoenix to Miami to Connecticut and finally New York in a, quote, shitty off season. She said she used her prize money from the 2025 All-Star Skills Challenge for a down payment on a house. Okay, who cares? So she's got trials and tribulations of everyday people. I mean, that have to use their actual wages to pay for said housing? Question mark? I, I mean, I guess I'm sorry, not sorry. I don't feel sympathy for that. If you're a temporary player, I mean, pay them some kind of per diem. If you don't think you're going to give them a long-term contract. I mean, if you work oil field or construction, they pay you per diem when you work out of town. That's fair. That's fair. What they don't provide you is freaking cars. So, long story short, we want to make all this money. We also want virtually no bills because we think we're better than the average American. Nah, sorry. That right there, in my opinion, loses you sympathy in the fight. It does, at least far as I'm concerned. Some activist fans won't like that. I don't care. I don't care. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm not. If you make $225,000 a year, I'm not going to have a lot of sympathy for you. I'm not. That's good money. Even today, that is good money. For playing basketball. Look, you're not playing 81 games either. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.